Hello, welcome everybody to this presentation of Utopian Global, how to earn yield and obviously how to protect your savings from inflation, because inflation is certainly on, I believe, everybody's head, everybody's mind, especially today, because the new data was just released. So all of you guys who got an invite, and the email heading was obviously all about that. Well, how can you actually get out of this big dilemma which we are in? And that is, of course, that your earnings, your savings actually being really eaten up from that inflation trap where a lot of people are in. My name is Claudia Eifert, and with me here I have the founder and the CEO of Utopian Global on the call, which is always fantastic. Hello, Bill. How are you? And welcome in Dubai.
Claudia, it's great to be here, and thank you for inviting me to this call, and welcome to all the other members around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And I'm going to go, before I actually hand it over to Bill, I'm going to go over a little bit about Utopian Global, what we are doing here with the company, and of course, what is in for you, because that's obviously always the question, what can I get out of it? Utopian Global, as you see here, be your own bank, invest in assets the smart way. We all got to, especially right now, think outside the box. And thinking outside the box, I mean, we have been preaching and teaching this since literally 2008. Gold and silver always has been a huge part of the company, and it will be, because it is your foundation of really wealth building. And so we are all about that, about helping you to understand, of course, those complex financial markets, those complex things which are out there, which a lot of people understand. And of course, most people don't even understand the basics, which is what is money. And gold and silver has always been money. We always talk about that. We want to educate, we want to help you understand that, so that you at the end of the day can make the right decision. Now, disclaimer, we are not financial advisors, so we are not going to advise you financially in that. We just want to make you aware, teach you, coach you, educate you what is out there, so that you then can actually make an informed decision. And the team behind, as you hear, see, Cashets, that is what we're going to talk about, the yield earning program. We see William Rowell is the founder and CEO of Utopian Global, but also, of course, on board on Cashets. We have Mr. Danish Wiswi, the Chief Strategy Officer on Investments, and we do from time to time a session with him where he talks about what assets actually are we getting involved in through Cashets. Myself, we have our legal team, and we have our IT team and engineering team, which all, of course, work together to a common goal, and that is to bring always great products and services out for you, so that your bottom line is going to get better. And so we are very much into this, basically taking control of your financial situation, of your financial circumstances, personal finance without the middleman. We don't like all those middlemen. We certainly like precious metals. Why? Because as of the best hedge against inflation. This is how the company started so many years ago in 2008, really teaching you and helping you to get involved in owning precious metals. Why precious metals? Because over years, and I'm going to take you in a little second to a website that you really grasp this idea why rulers, empires, royalty, rich people, they always have part of their portfolio in precious metals, because precious metals is the hedge against inflation, meaning over time, you may need more of your currency. That could be your fiat currency, of course, which is dollar, the euro, your yen, your British pound, and so on. You need always more of that currency to buy the same goods and services, which when you compare it to precious metals, to gold, you don't, because gold always maintains is purchasing power. And we can go very, very long back into history. In fact, hundreds of years. We can go back into history. I mean, before we didn't have the paper money, but we had coins, and those coins were eventually debased more and more by lesser value metals. They were also clipped and making, of course, the currency all the time less valuable. And of course, right now we are facing huge inflation problems out there. So we constantly feel that we need always more money to buy, of course, let's say our bread, our milk, our butter, whatever we eat. Yet our salary in comparison is not really increasing. And so once you understand that you have to put part aside and put it into gold and silver, then you're only building a really great protection mechanism, which of course in times as well is not actually only that, it's actually also increasing, meaning obviously because of all that what is going to go up out in the markets. But we're not going to go touch too much into it. I just want to show you some facts, because at the end of the day, yes, the stories are really great, but the facts is, you just can't deny it, that of course your currency, your fiat, is losing value if you would have held it in comparison to precious metals. So with us and through our program, you can buy gold and silver from as little as €25. You obviously get the precious metals from the #1 refinery in the world, which is Arca Horius, LBMA, London Bullion Market Associated Refinery, and you can read that all up on our website. But literally, you can buy in from as little as €25. That means there's really no excuse that you cannot afford it, because you can get a small part of it. Now you can save towards larger chunks of that, definitely, and that's what people are doing since 2008. But of course, you also need to earn yield. You also need to earn yield, meaning you also need to have your money working for you. Who doesn't want to have their money working for you? We all want. We just don't know where. How? Because banks don't give us anything anymore. I mean, in Europe, we all know we have negative interest rates. Now here, maybe in the Middle East, here in Dubai, you still have a little bit of a percentage. Maybe even the US still have a little bit percentage, but the inflation is higher than the percentage we're actually getting. But then also we do have, because we also believe in when you are actually like a product and service, why not actually help others to also learn about those products and services and share it with others and get a little reward. So we are also about that when, of course, you share with other people, you can actually earn some extra income from doing so. And that's why we do have an affiliate program as well attached to it. But of course, this is not a must. This is totally up to you. I just explain you a little bit in a nutshell. We believe in creating value by investing in real assets, physical assets that produce real income, and which then creates a real lifestyle. Now, when we look at right now our situation worldwide, macroeconomics, we look at an imbalanced global financial system. We know all, and we have all heard those numbers: the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. The middle class is sort of like not anymore there. It's really diminishing. We have a rising government debt all over the world. We see big banks give us nothing anymore on our money. We see bonds, it's not really anymore worthwhile to be in. Real estate, you probably are taxed higher, so you make very, very little in real estate. You can still, of course, have some good deals here and there, but there's not really so much which you can actually earn or create gains, such as we all, of course, hear about crypto, the crypto gains you can now make. DeFi, decentralized finance, meaning really this whole financial system, taking it, of course, to a blockchain. And then we have Cashets. We have Cashets, which is our product, which actually is a product which we did take in and take on board through the Utopian Global Platform, which actually invests in asset trade, which is then executed on the blockchain, and the rewards are being distributed to its token holders. And similar, like having a bank deposit at a fixed term deposit, as longer the holder has it in the deposit, as more the yield the person will earn. And so we have here 3 ways actually through Cashets that you can earn a yield. One through the standard yield, that can give you up to 17%, one through the premium yield, which can actually give you up to 30%. And then we have an affiliate program where you can earn extra yield from referring other people. And I'm going to go into that in the later stage. So our approach to generate yields is bringing real world physical asset trade to blockchain, gives a tangible and a revenue generation. We use blockchain because we believe this is, of course, the future. It's very transparent. It cannot really be faked. So everything is basically, it's a ledger, it's a public ledger, which every transaction can be visible. And we love that because that gives true transparency. So obviously, through Utopian Global, we introduced Cashets, the Cashets ERC20 token. It's built on the Ethereum blockchain, and we are still in pre-launch. It will be ready, hopefully, in a few more weeks from now that you actually can see it on the blockchain. So you're getting in at a really, really early stage right now still. The yield program gives DeFi similar return. So it's a perfect timing because the demand in natural resources is just huge. It's absolutely huge. You know, when we look at, of course, crypto, and everybody is going crazy crypto right now, the real assets, which is minerals, which are mined, which are very necessary for production of from food items to medical items to housing, building, which are things which we always need. And when we just go back to the start and the beginning of the pandemic, well, we all know everything always all of a sudden was reduced to essentials, right? Everything closed. We even could get rid of, let's say, hospitality and restaurants. We didn't need them. We just need essentials. So what is essentials? Well, we still need a place to live. We still need heating, right? If you live, of course, in a country where it's cold, or you need cooling if you're living in a country which is too hot. We need light, we need energy. So we need, and of course we need communication, meaning computers, phones, etc. So those are things which are essential. So if everything goes down south, let's say to speak, we're still gonna always need mineral for the production of these different items, and even, of course, for our energy resource. So real assets will always play a huge role, and more so now. Why? Because the whole world is shifting. The whole world is shifting to renewable energy. We all want to all of a sudden go, of course, green, which is nice. We want to, of course, have and live in a greener planet. That all requires from those famous Tesla cars, which need a lot of different minerals for their batteries to be functioning, to, of course, the solar energy. So we need, therefore, minerals. And of course, we, through the platform Utopian Global, we offer Cashets, and Cashets is all involved into those real assets, which are then traded and producing yields for you. And this is an amazing income opportunity, low startup cost. If you wish to build a business, just 390 euros, and you literally can build a business, as everybody wants to now build a business from your computer, from the comfort of your home, or be it yourself being a traveler. Maybe you have been, because of those virus situation, you maybe said like, okay, hang on a second, I can do my work from home. I moved to a country where I like to live, where I have the best conditions, and you work from home. You can do that. Take your business literally with us anywhere if you wish to do that, and can build a global business from the lowest startup cost at 390 euros, sharing this amazing opportunity with people and earning rewards. We have a world-class leadership of really visionary entrepreneurs with decades of experience. And Cashets, the Cashets ERC20 token, it's, you should read the white paper. It's a stable, or gives you stable, secured, and strong financial returns through a very calculated exposure in real and tangible assets. Of course, when you put money down and invest into the Cashets token. what Cashets is really doing is the capitalization on the transformation in everyday goods and commodities, because there's all kinds of stages of transformation happening, from the point that you take the mineral out of the ground, to the refining of that mineral, to the sale of this mineral, to then putting that mineral into, let's say, a car, to then, of course, sell this car. So those are all stages of transformation, and everything what we see here, the computer I'm talking into, the little cable I have here hanging, the lights here hanging, those are all items which went through a transformation, and in all those transformation stages there is money to be made. Very simple. And this is the money which then, of course, is paid out in the yields which are produced through Cashets. So it's pretty simple. Similar in basically locking your money into a bank account in a bank term deposit, in the hope, of course, that you get a good return on that. Unfortunately, in banks you don't anymore. We actually can, through our partnership with Cashets here, provide you amazing APY, annual return, up to 30%. And we say up to because we have different entries, which then you have to decide what entry you wish to want to take. But the longer you hold, the higher the return. And it's, of course, 100% callable, which is also great. So this gives you the confidence and the peace of mind. But how do we earn from Cashets? So you see here 30 days, 90 days, 180, 365. So we have a kind of locking period in there. Now, again, you can take it out at any time. This is not a problem. But we have sort of parameters built in there, so that after 30 days, if you put your money down for 30 days, well, you get a different return than if you would have locked it for 90 days or for 100 days or for 365 days. So you see here below the yields. So you have an inactive premium yield or active premium yield. What it says simply is the inactive premium yield is basically the lowest yield. It's like when you become a customer, your standard yield. You come on board, you bring whatever money you put to work, but could be 200 euros, could be 10,000 euros, could be 50,000 euros, whatever you decide. The lower yield, which pays you up to 17% per annum after 30 days, is actually obviously giving you a 5.4% if you would, of course, calculate it throughout the whole year. Meaning, let's say you would put your money to work for 30 days, then you take it out, take the profit, and you put it again in, and then you take it the next month out again. So you always leave it just for 30 days in. Then you would make a 5.4% actually calculated throughout the 12 months. If you, of course, have the premium yield or be an affiliate, then you would have a 7.2%. And you see, this goes higher and higher until we do reach the 17 or the 30%. So that depends, obviously, how long you leave it in there. But let's give a very simple example. So let's say you came on board, you sign up, you actually do your KYC, you know your client, so you upload all your documents, your data, which we do need to be compliant with the anti-monetary laundering and the KYC, know your customer rules. Once you have done this, then you can decide, okay, well, I want to just join with the standard yield program. And when I join the standard yield program, I know whatever money I put down and how long I hold it, the longer I hold, I get a better return. But 10,000 euro, as an example, hold for 12 months with a standard yield, which gives you up to 17%, would give you around 1,704 euros. So your 10,000 euro would be, after 365 days, 11,704 euros. That's better than any bank. Now, if you decide, okay, I want to have the premium yield, so I want to actually earn up to 30%, then that requires you need to be on a monthly subscription of 35 euro, where you can get access to gold or silver wholesale price. You can get access to no storage fee or zero storage fee for holding the precious metals, where you can get access to the higher yield. And for this 35 euro monthly, which you have to then pay, and the 10,000 euro put down after 12 months would actually give you a 3,000 euro APY, or your 10,000 would be now 13,000. So that's pretty good, because considering you really can sit back and relax, and you don't have to do much, because that's all done for you. All what you have to do is put your money to work. So how can I join to either buy precious metals or earn yield? Well, as I said, we have the standard yield, the premium yield, and the affiliate rewards. So you see here already the different boxes which are ticked or unticked. So obviously at a free standard yield, you get the lowest yield. Still very great, still amazing. I mean, a lot of people are gonna do that or are doing that. Why? Well, because they don't have to, they don't first of all have to worry about anything. They don't need to buy the 35 euro. They're okay with earning lower yield. They're fine with that. And it's a great yield, 17%, because let's face it, where in the world are you getting that? Of course, DeFi is something else, but DeFi is very risky. And for people who don't understand crypto, don't understand how the staking process works, it's very hard. So very few people only will understand how to earn higher yields in crypto. So we offer an amazing yield here through, of course, the Infinity Vault and Cashets, the Cashets ERC20 token. So up to 17%. Now, as a standard yield, you don't get the wholesale price of gold or silver. You pay a little bit more. You also have to have some fees attached when you sell your gold or silver, and for the vault. So those are, of course, a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of the premium yield, because when you pay your premium yield, meaning you pay your 35 euro monthly, you get actually wholesale gold or silver prices. You get a free gold or silver storage, which is storage fees can be super high. You get it for free there. And you have a free callable withdrawal. Plus, you are getting actually a high yield, and you can refer people to buy as well Cashets through your site, and you're going to get rewarded with a 0.5% on whatever day money put down and lock in the Infinity Vault for Cashets. So you can basically get paid on all your direct referrals, or you decide to build a business. When you decide to build a business, you become an affiliate. Now it gives you all of that what the premium yield gives. Also, you have the 35 euro monthly, and you have a one-time fee of 390 to enter. But you also now get 2 levels of referrals for Cashets, meaning if you introduce somebody and who buys Cashets, you're going to earn on how long ever this person holds the Cashets in the vault. And when this person introduces somebody else, you're also going to earn 0.25 commission when whatever they put down, which is also great. So as a premium yield, it's very simple. You share and roll you earn. So you when you share and enroll somebody who also wants to buy Cashets, you're going to actually earn money from all your direct referrals. And that could actually end up that your yield with the referral yield would be actually 36% annual because of the referrals, which is really great. And now 36% return APY is really cool. If you become an affiliate, that's going to be a little bit more, because now you're also going to get rewarded from building a network of people. And that network of people can really be unlimited levels down. So you can earn from many different levels, such as from your own referrals or the referrals of the referrals, but deeper as well in your team. At the end of the day, your network is your net worth. That's what all the wealthy people know. Your net worth is your net worth. Or as John Paul Getty, once upon the richest man on earth, said, I'd rather have 1%, of 100 of people of effort than 100% of my own effort, because we all have a limited time. But when we help and share and spread the world, well, we all grow, obviously, and we all gonna make money. And that's the beauty about that. So as you see, the premium affiliate, you can earn premium yield and you can also grow your network. So right now, basically, I want to, on this part, bring our CEO of Utopian Global, because we are coming actually to the end of my little bit of a short overview. And I wanted to really show you very quickly, because the invite was all about precious metals, gold, APY, how to protect yourself from all of what's going on right now in this huge inflation rate. In fact, we have never had and seen such inflation rate. So this is really unprecedented. Obviously, Corona was unprecedented. All those things are unprecedented. We already, myself, Bill, as well, we went through major collapses. I mean, the 2000 dot-com bubble, we have the 2008 stock crash, and of course, what we just now saw. But that's why we so key and so vital to understand where are we at in this cycle. So Bill, I talked enough. I really would like your brain, to pick your brain, because you are a licensed precious metals dealer. You are a licensed precious stones dealer. You are, I mean, almost 2 decades now in the precious metals market. You're very close to the top guys in the world of gold and silver. You have a lot of idea. What should people do? What is your belief? What is what you can tell us and can tell the listeners?
Hi, Claudia. Thank you for the information provided. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Well, there's a lot of content there, but of course it's not complex. First of all, I really want to break it down. First of all, the inflation rates we're seeing in my lifetime certainly is not unprecedented. I can remember inflation rates up towards, in fact, I was paying it at a bank, one of my first hotels I owned in Melbourne, Australia. It was over 20%. The overdraft rate was 21.5%. So if you wanted to buy a home back in Australia in the early 1990s, your housing loan would have been maybe 17%. If you had money to put in the bank, maybe it was 11%. But inflation was very, very high then. So we've had high inflation before at the end of the 80s, early 90s, in the world recession we had at that particular time. What does that mean to you? Now, you spoke about this in today's call, Claudia, before I get on to why gold, is that it must be very clear. Everyone on this call, generally, most people are trading their time for money. I mean, when I say money, they refer to money as this paper stuff. And I've got dirhams here, I've got Swiss francs, I've got euros, but it's paper. Now, one thing we must get between it, we really understand the longer you hold on to this paper, the less it's going to buy. The less fuel for your car. It's going to pay less, you're going to have less to pay more for it to pay for your rent, more for food. And if you go back to 1971, up until 1971, this paper stuff was backed by gold. And in 1971, let's just do a simple example. In 1971, let's say this represents $3,500. So in 1971, 50 years ago, I have $3,500 in my hand back then. And of course, today it's still worth $3,500, correct? It's still the same cash. What is $3,500 going to buy you? But 100 ounces, if I had taken that $3,500 back in 1971 and bought 100 of these, because gold at that time was $35 an ounce, I would actually own 100 ounces of gold. So $3,500 1971 in cash is still $3,500 today. But had it been smart, understanding what happens to paper money, I bought 100 ounces of gold back then. That gold value today would be worth $180,000. Significant difference. So your buying power today would now be $180,000 versus $3,500. And it's the same with silver. So if your paper money is buying you less, it's very, very important that you diversify. One way to do that, of course, is buying and saving in gold and silver. And as you said correctly, Claudia, is that we have a savings program where people can actually take from as little as 25 euros per month and convert that into a savings program, which is very, very simple on the Utopian Global platform. And then we have Cachettes, of course, which is dynamic because it's a yield it's an income producing program. Okay, it's the longer you have your cash in the infinity vault, the more you're going to earn, as you described. You're going to get paid the yield upon when you decide to liquidate. At the end of 12 months, our estimated return is, of course, 30%. So on one side, you're getting a return on your paper money, which exceeds inflation. And on the other side, you could be on a gold and silver savings program, which is preserving your wealth, which is the hedge against inflation. This is really the simplicity of what we have here in Utopian Global. And it's available for all people, regardless of what your income status actually is. I mean, saving is really important, but you need to be able to understand to save wisely. Saving in paper, even though we need to have cash, paper, bills, and different things, it's not the smart way to grow your wealth and build wealth. You need to be able to be diversified in other things. One thing that we offer is cachettes, which is backed by real assets, gold and silver, which is wealth preservation. We're going to have many other projects coming to the table as well, especially through 2022. So it's going to be, well, a lot of people feel pessimistic. We feel very positive about where we're heading and what areas which we're trending towards. And then, of course, you spoke about cryptocurrency as well, Claudia. So we're living in a very much a changed world today. And you need to be open. You need to learn what we have. You need to understand history as well. And then you can make the right decisions. This is really what you present to people on your weekly presentations. Your understanding of money, understand how to preserve your wealth, understand how you can actually get a good return on your money. Because I think you said the inflation rate was 7%. Well, if you go to it, there's a website called Shadow Stats in America, and by John. Anyway, he's an economist, and he actually, up until 1980, the Americans in the USA, they would calculate inflation under a different algorithm or a different calculation, let's say. And back then, they would actually include food items and they include energy. When they calculate inflation today, they don't even include these items. Of course, where does most of your income go? It goes to paying for your energy bill, especially in winter in Europe. You need to pay for your oil bill or your gas bill, whatever, or electricity bill. And of course, your food items feed people in the family on a daily basis. This is not included in today's CPI or let's say inflation. So inflation is really, it's probably around 12%. When I go to shadowstats.com, I look at the real CPI based on the 1980 calculations, over 12%. What does that mean? It's just a number, correct? Well, it means all your paper wealth in less than probably 7 to 8 years, between now and the end of this decade, between now and 2030, all your paper wealth that you have is going to buy less than half than what it does today. You're going to lose half of your buying power. So the simplicity thing is, what can you do? What's your plan B and C? Well, earn your paper, divert some of it, small portion into gold and silver, diversify into cachettes, put it into tangible assets which are actually generating you a return. You need to be able to do that, keep ahead of the game. And this is what we actually do. I see you're showing there on your desktop there, Claudia. That's great. So it's important to understand the bigger picture of what's going on, and think longer term as well. If you really want to be able to get ahead in building wealth, everybody wants an instant result today. Sometimes building wealth, yes, you can get short-term results, but you really want to be you're in it for the long game as well. And that's what we try and do here. This is our 14th year. Actually, this month, I think it is, Claudia, we've been in business for 14 years with our Swiss company, providing these services to our members around the world. So it takes time to build wealth and understand it. And so thank you for offering this presentation to our members around the world.
And Bill, what I also like to show people, because I like the site goldprice.org, because in the goldprice.org, and we don't speak too often enough, and I believe we should speak more often about that, because when we look, and we always tell people, you know, just put part of it for this comfort's sake into precious metals, and just have it there, because over time, and that's the whole point which you are making, over time your currency, and no matter which currency, is actually losing your value. So we see here that is the gold price performance today, 30 days, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 20 years. Sure, sometimes there could be a time frame where it's a little bit negative, but over the course of time, as you see here, 20 years, the gold price against the US dollar has actually outperformed 507%. So you made a 507% plus against holding the US dollar. And boy, this 20 years, didn't it go just by? I mean, I can remember when we turned into the new millennium. I mean, it was like around the corner, right? And now just 20 years passed by. And you can make this with any currency. And when you go to, let's say we go to the Aussie dollar, yeah, because you're Australian. So we look at the Aussie dollar, similar in the Aussie dollar. Okay, you have here 338%, but this is similar. We go to the Great British Pound. because people need to understand that over the long term, this is not a short term, this is long term, this is wealth preservation. Where do we have the great, no, we have the Gibraltar pound, British pound, maybe under the B. Okay, we have the Canadian dollar, because you have lots of Canadians as well here. Canadian dollar, very, very similar. Let's say, what currency do we have here more? And Bill, interrupt me if you want. Brazil, we have a lot of people in Brazil. I mean, in Brazil, holding their Brazilian currency against, of course, precious metals, you see you have over 1,170%. And look at, it's a huge country. Argentina, we have a big team in Argentina. Well, imagine Argentina, you're earning Argentina money, currency, 32,000%. Was it better to hold gold than the Argentinian currency? I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. Let's look at, we have here a Bangladesh.
The other added point, Claudia, which I think is really important for people, if you're taking your paper and you're converting it into an asset, like let's say, even though it's very easy to liquidate in Utopian Global, but it's not so easy to spend. If you've got cash, it's always easy to spend. You're not saving, it doesn't force you to save, but by converting part of your income into real tangible assets such as gold, silver, even cash, in one sense, it's forcing you to spend, but you're saving in real assets and getting a very, very strong return. People who just take cash don't normally save. They're spenders. So then you need to be able to save in the right asset. And what you're showing here, I mean, especially these countries like Argentina, which is a huge inflation.
This is Bangladesh here. This is here, Bangladesh.
Well, all these currencies, of course, it's all going to be the same. You speak to any of the taxi drivers here in Dubai, whether they're Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani, etc. They all love gold, correct? I mean, they wear it. I mean, that's they know they don't want to hold on to paper stuff. They know what happens to it, so they'll convert theirs to gold relatively quick. You go to the gold souk here and see the amount of gold and clothing that they'll do for marriages and maybe you know, for dores for when children give birth, etc. As a gift. They understand the value and the importance of saving in real assets such as gold. So we have this available, very simple for you, not complex. You don't have to go to complex exchanges and buy this and then have it. We do it all for you at the Utopian Global platform. And for as little as around $1, €1 a day, you can save in gold and silver. So imagine having children or grandchildren today, and you're saving in paper. You put them on a savings account, and you're putting $20, $30, $50 a month into a savings account for the hope, trying to educate your children and grandchildren that saving is a good thing, and it surely is a good thing. But in today's world, in an inflationary world, the most important thing is to teach them why and how to save in the right asset. This is really important, and it needs to be also, you need to be able to liquidate very quickly in case something happens in your life. Let's say, for example, Claudia, you've been saving in gold, which you have been now for well over a decade, or silver, and you needed to buy something as an emergency. You need to have a platform that you could log in. You could sell back so many ounces or grams of gold, very, very silver, and the next day the money is going to be in your account. That's the ease that we make it available to people. Now, we do ship as well. And I want to touch on this point just briefly, Claudia, that we do physically ship. But just be known for people around the world, shipping gold generally to most parts of the world is tax-free and duty-free in many parts of the world. Not all. We have many examples where people have taken the gold, shipped it to the country, and they've been hit with very, very high taxes. At silver, probably 100%, you're definitely going to be hit with import duties and taxes, because silver is also an industrial metal. So while you can save it on our platform, which is fantastic, and liquidate at any particular time, it's a very cost-effective way of doing it. But as soon as you want to physically ship that product, once you've got shipping costs, you've got insurance costs, and then you might land up to 40, 50, 60% on top of that, again, import duties and taxes. And to me personally, then it doesn't make the exercise worthwhile. You're losing too much in these additional costs. So you're just better off liquidating it back before you ship it. But that's something that you have to decide upon, of course. But I wanted people to understand that we do physically ship. People can even collect it from the storage facility in Zurich through us. In fact, I was only down there last week at the vaulting facility in Cologne near the Zurich airport, and we can arrange for people to ship it. But that has to be done through our company. One of the people from the directors in the company must be there to do it, because you're actually storing it, vaulting it through our company on your behalf.
Thank you, Bill. That's great information. But as you just saw, while you were talking, I was going through those charts. I mean, there's no wonder why obviously people in this part of the world, especially as you said, the taxi drivers, the Pakistanis, the Indians, the Sri Lankans, the Bangladeshis, Filipinos. I mean, you see like stats like the Filipino money or like the Pakistani money 1,800% gains in the last 20 years in comparison, of course, to holding their Pakistani currency. So, I mean, it's no wonder those people, they trade literally in gold. I think in the Indian weddings, it's like that as well. So how many kilos of gold do you bring when you basically get to marry? So it's all about, yeah, it's very, 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 very important. And that is still going to play a huge role. So even though we hear all this, of course, cryptocurrency, gold or silver is playing a big role because also it's an industrial metal, especially silver there. Gold also is, of course, used even in nutrition. It has other use cases, of course, just outside the hedge against inflation. This is why we are always very big on that. But again, you also need to earn yield. You have to have other vehicles of income streams, and that's what we provide you. That's why it's really the optimal platform which you do have here, because one, you get the hard assets, gold or silver, which has been money of kings since ages. You get the yield program where you can earn yield, but you're also very liquid. You're straight away very liquid. And when you actually refer it with a few other people, you can actually even earn money through that way. And why not share something which is really amazing? So that's perfect. That's what we have. I'm excited as I was when we started. And that is, of course, many, many years ago. And I hope you are excited as I am. And with that, Bill, I want to again thank you so much that you could come on board. We are obviously doing different presentations, different time zones whenever we can for you guys. But whenever you have questions or you have doubts, well, go to the person who actually invited you to this presentation. And we also do have a lot of things on our media channels, so you can go from Instagram to TikTok to Medium to Reddit to Facebook to, gosh, did I forget anything? I mean, it's just so many Medium platforms, and continuously we're getting new platforms on board. And check what you can find there, or come, of course, to support at Utopian Global. Send your questions there at any time. So our team is very happy to, of course, answer you any questions, any doubt, any concern you have. So with that, I want to say again, thank you from the Utopian Global office here in Dubai. And thank you all your listeners and all your people who are gonna listen to this live stream after it is uploaded to the different diverse channels, and it will be emailed as well to those people who could not attend because you are in different time zones. So with that, thank you so much and have all a lovely day. And I hope that you did take some of the points which Bill was making to heart, and you're making the right decision. So thank you so much and have a great day.